Welcome back, my dear viewers. This video is the second part of my network automation videos, and the topic is controller based networking. In my previous video, I explained REST API. It is a crucial part. Similarly, the controller based networking is one of the crucial parts in network automation. Let's overview our old, traditional, and boring network and the approach. Here we go. I have a usual network which contains routers, layer 3 and layer 2 switches, and of course endpoints. When we need to configure something in this traditional network or manage something or troubleshoot some issue in this traditional old network, what we usually do, we try to get the relevant inputs from the user like the IP details, and we try to trace the traffic through the devices in the network, and we use to log in a specific device and executing the relevant list of commands. This is how we were approaching till date, but it is not going to be the approach anymore. To understand what the controller based networking or software defined networking is, you have to know the plane and its operation in every network device. Let me explain that. Just take layer 3 devices. It may be any device, multi-layer switch, router, or any device. It has three planes: data plane, control plane, and management plane. The data plane is actually responsible for the packet flow, the activities that the devices are doing over the packet. It is taken care by the data plane. The data plane is responsible for data flow. You can keep this in mind. And the control plane. The control plane, the name itself indicates it controls the data planes like a driver. I'll tell you example. Data planes responsible for packet flow, and the control plane is responsible for address learning. I'm just giving an example. Let's take the IP routing table. In order to form the IP routing table, the route has to be learned by the network devices, and with the help of the control plane only, every network device learns the route information and update the routes in the routing table. Similarly, the MAC address table. In my previous video, I explained that every entering frame will record its source MAC address in the CAM table, and that activity is taken care by the control plane. Also, the ARP table is filling based on the control plane activity only. And at the same time, if you take the routing protocols, EIGRP, OSPF, BGP, whatever, it has to form the neighborship with the adjacent router. In that case, it has to communicate with the adjacent router in order to form the neighborship. The control plane plays crucial role in that neighborship formation as well. This is what the traditional networking. In traditional networking, every network device has its own data plane, control plane, and management plane. But in controller based networking, the approach is little different. This is where we bring a new person called network controller. It is also known as software defined networking. In controller based networking, we are taking the control plane out of the network device, and we are giving the control plane to a centralized device called network controller. So the control planes are acting like a brains. We are taking out all the brains and giving to the centralized brain, genius. Taking out the control plane and giving it to the network controller, it is not like taking the control plane physically from the device. It is just logically we are giving the control plane power to the centralized network controller. That is what the approach in the network based controller. And this technology, this approach is also called as software defined networking. As the network controller is the master, it has to communicate with all the network devices. So in order to do that, it is using the API. This is where the API comes in. And this API is called as SBI. It means southbound API. It is southwards, so they named it as southbound API. And there are 4 types of southbound API. The first one is open flow API. It is actually an open source API. And the second one is OP Flux. Actually, this API is used by the ACI. It is used in the ACI, application centric infrastructure. And the third one is, we can say, the DNA controller as one of the popular network controllers available. The DNA stands for Digital Network Architecture. And yes, it is also called as DNAC. And the last and fourth one is NetConf. These are the 4 types of southbound APIs. And the CLI SNMP is used by the DNA center, and also the DNA center is using the NetConf southbound API. So through the southbound API, the controller communicates the network devices. Actually, the user to be the master of the master. Since the controller is the centralized place to control all the network devices, the user somehow need to issue the command to the network controller. So if the user wants to communicate with the network controller, they have to use NBI. Yes, northbound API. The REST API is one of the great examples of the northbound API. We learned the REST API in previous video, so this is where we will be using the REST API. We use the REST API to give the commands to the network controller. And apart from the REST API, we can also enable the GUI interaction. By using the GUI, user can directly interact with the controller and manage the devices. To understand the software defined networking, you need to know the architecture of the software defined networking very well. The SDN architecture mainly has 2 parts. The one is underlay network, and the second one is overlay network. First, let me explain the underlay network. We have to learn the new approach in the network management. It doesn't mean that you have to forget all the fundamentals that you have learned. The underlay network purely based on the traditional networking. For example, see this network by excluding the controller. It is a normal, usual network with the traditional devices, switches, routers, and endpoints. So I have used the normal routing here between the layer 3 devices, and I used the layer 2 device access switches and the endpoints. So in this network, I formed my underlay network, and of course I added the network controller with my underlay network. Just assume if student 1 is not able to reach student 2, the communication is not established. You got an issue, and when you start troubleshooting in traditional networking environment, you have to concern, you have to worry about all the devices in its path. You need to check in all the devices, and it is killing. It is a tedious job to do. Literally, the software defined networking made our work much easier. I'll tell you how this tedious work can be bypassed. This is where we use overlay network. In user's perspective, he just has to reach the student 2 from student 1. The user not aware about the intermediate networking and the issues and all. So it is called intent based networking. So we are just going to troubleshoot the issue from the point of the user. I'll explain clearly. Here we integrated our network controller with our traditional network. The network controller should be reachable from all the layer 3 devices of the network. The controller will have its own IP address and it has to reach all the IP address in the network, including the endpoint. Apparently, the controller will become knowledgeable dude because the controller will have the knowledge about the entire network topology. Overlay network simply view the network from the user point of view. So in overlay network, it assumes there are only two devices between student 1 and student 2. The remaining devices appears to be disappeared from the user point and controller point. Though the controller has the entire knowledge about the whole network. Now I will practically show how the controller based networking works. In this underlay traditional network, in all the devices, all the layer 3 devices, I configured the user credentials and the complete configuration is done, and these user credentials are given to the network controller. The network controller is well aware about these network devices because these devices are legacy devices and the controller is using the CLI to log in the each network device. So the controller aware its credentials. It is time to explore the network controller. Network controller is running on local loopback address and on port 58000. Let's spin up. You can see the network interface. I am already managing 2 end host and 3 network devices in this topology. I assigned IP address only to these 2 student endpoints. Hence it is showing the host as 2 and the network devices are 3, 2 multi-layer switches and 1 router. Just remember, the controller only records the layer 3 devices. It only knows the layer 3 devices. Let's explore it further. If I go provisioning, I can see the list of devices. I wish to showcase this once again. So I am going to remove these devices. Let's add the devices once again. Now I am not managing any devices from the controller. Let's bring the devices. I am choosing discovery and the discovery uses the CDP, Cisco Discovery Protocol, to detect the network devices. My network, I am giving one of the IP address of network devices. I am giving the IP address of the router. 2.1 is the address and the credential list. The credential I need to create before I'm adding the discovery. This is where we add the credential of the network devices. Now I created the credentials. I'm choosing the IP address. Now I can add the credential list. So I am adding the credential list and I am giving the IP address of the router, only one device. Now the controller communicates with the network devices. It communicates with the multi-layer switches, routers, and the endpoints. You can see the host multi-layer switches detected, and of course it is reachable. Yes, now both the endpoints detected. It discovered the network devices available in this network. If I see the network devices, I can see all three devices, both the multi-layer switches and a router. In dashboard, I can see the network device and the host. If we check here, we can see the health status of every device and the host details. You can also see the access switch details here. Actually, the controller detected the layer 2 device also, though it is not directly communicating it with any IP address. And the topology. You can see two multi-layer switches alone displayed in this topology. As I said earlier, the overlay network simply consider the layer 3 device at the starting and layer 3 device at the end. It will not consider the network that we have between the starting and ending layer 3 device. So this is what the overlay approach, but in reality we have the underlay traditional network. Let's trace the path. Here I traced a path already. It gives the trace details from student PC to student PC2, from the source to destination. It gives all the layer 3 devices in between. And yes, it is really insane. Now the crucial part, policies. We can also use some policies to define the QoS here, because the main advantage of the control based networking is centralized management. We can also enforce the automation through the centralized controller, and the QoS will be very easier rather than doing QoS in individual devices. And in network settings, these are the settings: AAA, DNS, NetFlow, NTP, syslog. We can configure these every feature in a central place, and we can push the configuration in to the particular device group. And the last and the final segment, API, application programmable interface. And this is the northbound API for this controller. As I explained, we are going to use the Cisco Packet Tracer provided API documentation to communicate with the network controller from the outside. Now it is time to kickstart the Postman tool to have some fun. Let me create a new workspace, Packet Tracer API workspace. I created this, my request window. In API documentation, the first query that we need to send is ticket query. This is for the code to access the device. Since it is protected by the authentication, we have to generate the code by sending this request. And yes, I need to send query to the ticket resource, and it is HTTP protocol. I am using the local IP 127.0.0.1 and the port local port 58000, and the resource path is API/v1 version 1. Here you can see I need to send the post request. I need to post the request, and make sure in parameters, body parameters, you have to add the username and password of the controller, not the devices, network devices, because southbound API only accessing the network device. We are accessing from the external device to the network controller. So to access the northbound API, make sure you are giving the credentials of the controller. I am giving the username and password in the JSON format. So the post request and the query URL is ready, and in body tab I'm choosing the raw and I'm adding the username and password. Everything I referred from the API documentation. Let's give the request now. The content type text plain not supported. Here the output format I chose as a text format. I need to choose JSON. I chose JSON and I resent the request. Now I got the key value. I'm going to use this token value to query the further details. I'm not disturbing this tab. I'm using the same query string. And let's see the API document. Let's do another operation. I'm trying to add the network device by using this REST API. I have to use the post request, and the parameters, in the body of the parameters, I need to add the IP address of the device and the global credential ID details. The request is post request, and in header key I need to choose X auth token and the token value. I need to add this, and the body parameters IP address, I gave a new IP address and the global credential ID. I'll tell you how to find this. In provisioning credentials, you have to take it from here. And this part looks fine. Let me make sure the service ticket ID not get changed, because it will be changing. It got changed. Let me update this here. Okay, I updated a new one, and JSON format, XOF token. Okay, it looks fine. And the last and final step, changing the query resource, sending it, not a valid IP address of the device, bad request. Now I used a query string and sent a GET request. I got the details from the controller. I simply mentioned the authentication key here, nothing else. I got the overall network device inventory from the devices. Here we can see the complete device details. I tried one more API to update the network device. I used the parameter format, IP address and the global credential ID. I gave the request perfectly. In the body I mentioned it, the type JSON chosen and the header is chosen properly with the proper ID. Even though I got the 500 internal error. The error code 500 internal server error represents there must be some issue with the server end. So in this case, the controller is a server. We cannot do anything in this request. Our request is proper, but we got this error. So something to be checked in the server end. Apart from this packet tracer tool, you can also practice this controller based networking and software defined networking by using the DNA controllers, and we cannot afford a DNS controller for our own. Cisco provides a solution. There is a website called developer.cisco.com, devnet. It is totally free. You can sign up it for free and you can log in. There are n number of available features in this portal. You can use these portals wisely, and I am choosing Sandbox Remote Lab. Let's explore all the networking sandboxes. When you open the DevNet sandbox, it gives you the available sandboxes. By clicking this, you can open the sandbox you need and you can easily do some labs by using these resources. I'll add the URL in the description part so you can go through this developer.cisco.com and you can use it wisely. And that's all I've got for the day. I covered the crucial topic in this video, software defined networking controller, and we can interpret the JSON and XML language in the upcoming videos. Also, I'll give a brief overview about the ACI and the software defined access in my upcoming video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider subscribing my channel and hit the like button. You can also share this video with your friends who are preparing to CCNA, because I would love to help to the people. And yeah, I'll see you next time with another exciting video. Until then, bye.